So, hi and welcome. Thank you for taking the time. Could
Hello,
you
thank you
introduce
for
yourself?
having me.
Huh?
Thank you for having me.
Could you introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Mark Dorsey, and I am a public advocate.
Awesome. And where about do you live? Like what?
I am a resident of Bergen County, and I'm a native of Washington, D.C.
Awesome. So, um, how does the LGBT community relate to you?
I really got involved with, I guess, the LGBT community in being an advocate for those with HIV and those with AIDS. And I can also say, as well as the entertainment industry and um, having friends that are LGBTQ friendly, as well as having family members that are LGBTQ friendly. And just the fact that there might not be that many resources for those that are LGBTQ friendly, I see that as a problem.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the fact that Bergen County doesn't have a resource center?
And I think it's maybe an untapped resource.
Could you expand on that a little bit?
I think just the inclusion of, first of all, the inclusion of an American, first of all, and I think you have your subcategories, which the LGBT community, is part of this great melting pot that we have as Americans. And I think that they should be included. And with Bergen County being, if not the number two or three richest county in the country, I think that we should be, picking up the ball and running with it like New York City is.
Exactly. And geez, that's you just answer all my questions right there.
Uh,
You just answer all my
well, I
questions.
mean, yeah, I think it's obvious. I'm an African American, um, and we try to align ourselves with different organizations, different causes that could present equality for all.
Yeah. So, do you think in Bergen County that is a doable or foreseeable future of having um, advocates, the African American community, and LGBT working together for more inclusion for everyone?
Yeah, I think it's enough of I guess resource that there are enough of those types of persons that identify with that community. Yeah, I think it should be.
Awesome.
I think it should be something that politicians, um, city, state, county. I think everybody should be involved in some way or another.
Yeah, I agree. And last question, I'll let you go. Um,
Okay.
in your personal like work experience, without identifying where you work or anything, can you talk about, you know, if there's a need for the people that you work with to have more resources?
um, well, I've pretty much been doing what I've been doing for about the last 11 years, um, directly. And I think, a lot of those that identify with the LGBT community, um, those resources are there. It's just how they're allocated. And they're treating, such ideologies with their political agendas. I think that's one that's been overlooked, as well as overfunded, underfunded rather. And I've found those types of disparities within the type of work that I do as an HIV testing counselor, and I work heavy with prevention and the whole transmission system. And I just think overall, you have to have inclusion. Because you have mental health might be a part of that, substance abuse might be a part of that whole gambit, and if it's something that can help you live healthier and have a much more enriching lifestyle, then I think it should be encouraged.
Awesome. Well, this is
If
your
that answers anything.
that answers a lot. No, thank you. So, um, do you have any questions for me? Do you have anything you would like to add to this?
Some of the resources that you feel that are not being provided
I'm
for
sorry.
the LGBTQ community. What are some of the resources that you feel are not being provided for the LGBTQ community?
Which ones do I think? I think across the board, to
Yeah.
tell you the truth. I think across the board. And I think it's you know, I think first, right now, the bar is set so low that I'm just trying to get a place where people can come to be to ask what are my resources, where can I go? Is where I'm setting the bar. But what's actually available, you know,
Mhm.
I think we're in the dark ages because we don't have teams of therapists that are you know studying and really taking the experience of LGBT people. We don't have the addiction counselors. We don't have that many doctors that are educated that way. So I think across the board, and I think
Mhm.
it's sectional because it's also people of color. It's sort of like a ladder. The more things you have, the lower down the ladder you are. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree, but I'm also, I play the devil's advocate. Um, I feel that, our government provides enough resources, but it's just um, how they allocate what it is that they have to work with. And
Yeah.
you take your whole tried and true um, causes, which might be, it could be diabetes, it could be breast cancer, it could be so many other things that becomes the focus that that kind of overshadows um, those lesser known or those lesser supported causes.
Yeah.
One that's real big right now is, immigration, and that's been something that's been around for years. Before my lifetime, before my parents' lifetime, and it's who's gonna take a stance and try to get it right. And I just feel that when it comes to LGBTQ community, those that are LGBTQ friendly, whether it be in corporate America or whether it just be personally, I just feel that people need to take what's hot right now, and
Yeah.
I feel that that's a hot topic.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I just feel it's a hot topic, and it's something that, huh?
well, I mean, with when you were saying like immigration, see what I'm trying to do with this project is to show the actual
Mm-hmm.
what's out here, and immigration is a real big part of that because a lot of immigrations immigrate to America to seek asylum because their homeland uh, doesn't accept them for being LGBT. That's one of the top reasons people come over here. Besides, families escaping war and poverty and stuff, right?
Oh,
So that's definitely
yeah.
on my table as well. And a lot of these issues, we're talking about like poverty, we're talking about addictions, we're talking about racism. That is the LGBT issue because you know you can be LGBT and you can be economically and fit into the right categories and not have to suffer anything and pass as mainstream. You can pass by looking straight. um you can have advantages by your color, by what town you're born into, the zip code, education, all that kind of stuff. And that's not the people that the center is really going to be useful for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Though,
Okay.
that population is gonna be fine no matter what. The people that are really gonna use it for are the people, well, even no, that's not true. Because people like that have children and they need resources as well. But
Yeah.
primarily, the people that will use it more so are people of color. And like you said, the people that are on the bottom. Those are the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you can look at economic factors. You can look at so many factors that are relevant when it comes to the sustainability of a society. And I mean, it's sprinkled out throughout the country where, New York is doing better than New Jersey. Uh, Atlanta might be doing better than Ohio.
Hmm.
And it's, it takes a lot of, data collection to see what it overall means. Does it mean, we hire more LGBTQ friendly police officers or judges or things that can help us get acclimated to society.
Yeah.
And I've just found that when you have what they call, I guess, committed ailments when it comes to like mental health and substance abuse and things of that nature. But people are people.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you should be able to go to the doctor and get your medicine.
Yeah.
If you live a certain way, you should be able to, pay your taxes and pay your rent and live where you want to live.
Yeah.
As long as you can abide by the rules that are set in whatever state you're living in, or country you're living in. I mean, it should be, something that's, what's going to enrich your life.
Yeah. So let me ask
And
you, I'm sorry.
mhm.
Let me ask you, do you think there's a need right now for a center, like a real need?
um, Personally,
Yeah.
I think the resources are there. It's a lot of people look at numbers right
Yeah. But let
now.
me let me let me interrupt you really quick. So when I say a resource center, it's not going to do the work. It's going to connect the people to the people that are doing the work. So you have
Okay.
you have people that are doing the work, like you're saying, but who knows about it? Who knows where to go? Who knows where it is? So a resource center connects the people to those people that are doing that work. Like
Okay.
you move into Bergen County, there's no one saying, "Oh, well, this is where
Hmm.
you go for a doctor, or this is," you know what I mean? So that's what a resource center is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think those should be made available. I think,
Yeah,
that's a good starting point, but I think it should be everywhere.
yeah,
And if it's gonna take, someone putting a hub together that's gonna connect that community, that resource to those that identify, or those that maybe not might identify, but they could recommend, they could refer,
yeah,
they could at least have something to help someone go an extra day. Tomorrow's always a brighter day, depending on how you look at it, because
yeah,
you don't know what's happened yet. So I think with that being said, yeah, I think it would be a definite need for some type of LGBTQ friendly center
Yeah.
for those that identify.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. All right, so before we go, um,
Yeah.
real quick, you know that this is eventually going to be made public. Do you give consent to having this?
Well, you go ahead and do what you do.
Is
Yeah.
that a yes? Is that a
This
no?
is this is me and you, Anthony.
All right.
This is me and you. Yes.
Yeah. So
It-
at any point, if you feel out the need
I
to,
believe in you enough that whatever you believe in, you think is worthy. I'm on board.
awesome. And likewise,
Yes.
likewise. Um, and you feel comfortable with everything you said, and you feel comfortable with this. What we
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Okay. All
I
right.
hope so. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
It's-
All right, so I'm gonna end this recording.
okay.